RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. Hey, how you doing? My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out and joining me on this Saturday evening's Tarabuster. We meet here every Saturday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern at the RDT Daily Facebook and YouTube channels. And we are rebroadcast starting Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Progressive Voices. I'm just trying to make the camera focus. And anytime on the Progressive Voices app, please give the show a good review on iTunes. And that helps. That helps us grow. And become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin, because we need the liberal media to continue. And you're looking at the liberal media. I know it's a little rough around the edges. It's a little worse for the wear. But there are millions of us. I wish there were millions of us here now, but no. We have a very amazing crew of supporters that really make me want to get out of bed in the morning. Otherwise, I don't know if I'd make it, really. It's really a tough time to be alive, don't you think? I was thinking today, well, what else do I have to say? Okay, let me think. You know, I haven't heard from Poppy. She's supposed to be calling in today. But she didn't respond to my texts to check in what's going on. So we'll play it by ear, but I will have the phones open if you guys want to call. We'll do it like that. Either way, we'll have the phones open. So, Sin City on the chat is asking, where did I get this T-shirt from? It's from Bernie Sanders' campaign. College for all, Medicare for all, jobs for all, justice for all. So, yeah. That says it. That says it all. Let me think. So many things are happening. I'm not really here to detail the news. We're kind of here to I don't know. When I think about the show, what is the purpose of this show? We're building a community of actual patriots who understand that liberals, progressives, normal people, Democrats, we'll take the Democrats, and, because there's hope with Democrats. They're not a lost cause like the right-wingers, the Republicans. We're here to spread the progressive solution that not only built the United States, yes, with many flaws, obviously. The founders were unabashed hypocrites. In fact, everyone who's ever led in this country is an unabashed hypocrite, since we've never actualized any of the promises in our founding documents. We're still working to be a more perfect union, in spite of the right-wing albatrosses hanging around our national necks. And that's why we're here, to call this out, to reclaim the mantle of patriotism, and to propel forward a country, not just the dream of a country that works for all, but the reality. We're in this together. We stick together, we win. That is the motto of this show. That is also the national motto. E pluribus unum. It's not something that we can't achieve. This is a entirely capable vision that we can bring to fruition if we have the will to fight. And what are we fighting up against? Who are we fighting against? We're fighting against what our forebearers, our forefathers and mothers, our ancestors have fought for time immemorial. And that is the big moneyed interests, the power of concentrated wealth. And ultimately, the something, whatever that is in the human condition that is fearful and greedy. That's what we're fighting against. We fight it in ourselves, and we fight it when everybody understood. Even the founders, they understood, how do you protect this country? They knew what they were fighting against. Of course, yes, they were racist. They were misogynists. Yeah, that is a given. But they understood what they were trying to build and what they were up against. And they were up against concentrated wealth. They knew that. The only thing that could challenge a government is concentrated wealth. That's it. So there's nothing more patriotic than what we're doing here, reminding the American people that we're in this together, that we pledge our lives, fortunes, and sacred honor to each other. And that means that everybody in, nobody out is the only American way. And how we accomplish that is there are practical policies, progressive taxation, reinstatement of the estate tax, all of these tax policies that were once understood to be patriotic taxes that prevented the development of an aristocracy. Because, yeah, that's what we're up against. So it's not ironic. What I'm trying to do right now is eject some of these external hard drives I have on the computer so I don't have a crash all of a sudden. But it's not ironic. It's typical that we have a trust-funded, tax-cheating, draft-dodging con man as a standard bearer who is greedy and disgusting and the personification of everything that we are fighting against. So I'm really tired of Republicans. I don't know about you, and today I'm sick of them all. I looked at Anand Garahada's his Twitter feed, and he had this woman, and what's going on in this country is it's not an aberration. It is expected. Absolutely expected. Nothing happens without cause and effect. We're here. We have this country with the most coronavirus sicknesses and the most death. That's not an accident. That is by design. You didn't have to be a Miss Cleo to predict the end of that story. Just like you don't have to be a psychic friend to predict when they lowered the tax rate, the top marginal tax rate. You don't have to be psychic to see where that's going. And just like when the Republicans undid, when they completely rolled or eliminated the estate tax, that just happened. But I'm predicting right now, and I'm not a psychic, that we will have an intergenerational aristocracy thanks to that law, that thanks to what the Republicans did. So either we reinstate it, or we just concede that we are not a functioning democracy anymore. So what are we going to do? It's not just about electing Democrats. It's about electing the right kind of people who understand what needs to be done. Not just throwing Band-Aids at bleeding arteries or throwing a subsidy. No subsidy is going to fix the abolition of the estate tax. What we need is absolute, direct, targeted policies that are deliberately meant to cultivate a society, a country that works for more than just the 1%. You don't have to wish upon a star. You just have to enact the policies. Have to have the will. And we talked about it on the last show. We'll talk about it again. Money in politics is the root of all evil. And it is the greed in this country. We have conceded defeat. I hope you know. We've conceded defeat to the coronavirus. Twitler's, his whole, 14 days to stop the spread? That was his own plan. Of course, it wasn't his plan. Somebody made it up. Someone in his, he doesn't know anything. He's a con man. His plan is to be a fluffer. That's all he is. To stop the spread. Let me say, hold on. Oh, here. Oh, good timing for the commercial. We'll be right back. This is Tara Devlin. 15 days to slow the spread. They're not. First of all, I was watching MSNBC this morning, and not the governor, though they had him on, of Florida, the mayor. The mayor who is, I can't remember his name. I tweeted at him. I'm going to look. It's ridiculous. They're reopening Disneyland? Well, for what reason? Oh, and then they played a video. Well, we have all of these social distancing rules, and we're taking everybody's temperature, and everybody has to wear a mask. This is ridiculous. When Florida coronavirus cases are going through the roof. So I guess we have just decided, forget about the 15 or 14 days to stop the spread. We've conceded defeat. Some people are just going to have to die. Our nurses and doctors and people on the front lines fighting this coronavirus, maybe they'll die too. They're going to have to be overworked. Hospitals will have to go enact a bunch of layoffs, I suppose, after the fact, since they won't have enough money to keep going because they'll have to shut down their elective surgeries. And we have a for-profit healthcare system that is nothing but a parasite, sucking on our miseries and making us sick. This country has so many problems. That's why I get I get despondent. I feel overwhelmed. I'm sure you do too. It's depressing. And also, when I'm in a better mood, I feel like, okay, this is the wake-up call. Either we wake up now or we're done. We're absolutely done. Yeah, this is a malignant tumor on our body politic. The Republicans, everywhere you look, they are failing. They are the party of failure, of death, of disparity, of ignorance. They have completely conceded defeat to the coronavirus. You want to cry. Meanwhile, I couldn't believe what I was watching on MSNBC, and they're saying, oh, yeah, I think we can do it, and we'll be a model for the nation, opening up Disneyland. Is that a good idea? And they're doing it because they're saying we can't afford to keep the economy shut down since the goddamn greedy bastards who run the economy, they don't work for us. Trust me, if this was a coronavirus that attacked only the 1%, the tippy top of let's say it attacked the Sheldon Adelsons of the world, what do you think the Republicans would do? They would move heaven and earth. There'd be subsidies, there'd be tax breaks, there'd be all kinds of bailouts. Incessantly, it would be like raining bailouts on these bastards. Because it's us, certainly they wouldn't send Sheldon Adelson, even though he's knocking on heaven's door as it is. He's a goddamn greedy bag of bones. I don't know what's keeping him animated. I guess it's greed. Maybe he's figuring out another way. It keeps him alive when he thinks about another granny who has to die needlessly without health care. Oh, well, not granny, really. It's usually the middle. Because they get Medicare at the end, right? We get Medicare. But even still, since most people are living hand to mouth in this country, it's you have to choose between medicine and rent and food or having a decent life. Even if you have Medicaid, maybe you didn't. Maybe you're in that donut hole. You still have to pay your vig. This country is so effing sick, and it often crosses my mind that maybe we should break this goddamn thing up. Frankly, then I think about my friends like Bob Kincaid who live in the South, but I don't know. Here's a story, for example. I thought it was a hoax. A patient in his 30s dies after attending a COVID party. This is in Florida. Thank you, Republicans. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, ineptitude. That is now the only, greed and ineptitude. It's greed. If you're greedy and you have no moral compass, you're not moral in any way. If that's all it takes to be somebody who is elevated in the Trump administration and the Republican Party. All you have to do is be a loyalist. You don't have to be fit for duty. You don't have to have any qualifications for the job. As long as you have no problem doing what it takes to funnel money to the top and cut people's lifelines, especially in the middle of a pandemic, you're fine. If you repeat the party line, even if it kills everybody, including your mama, you will be propelled and advanced in the Republican Party. So, another death. Let's chalk it up to the Republican Party. In San Antonio, well, this is not in Florida. I thought I said Florida, but in San Antonio, Texas. It's Texas, another hot spot, thanks to the ignorance and of the right wing. A patient in their 30s died from the coronavirus after attending what's been called a COVID party, according to San Antonio health official. Chief Medical Officer of the Methodist Healthcare, Dr. Jane Appleby, that's a name I can pronounce, I guess, thank you, said the idea of these parties is to see if the virus is real. This is a party held by somebody diagnosed with the COVID virus, and it's thought they see if the virus is real and to see if anybody gets infected. Dr. Appleby said, according to Dr. Appleby, the patient became critically ill and had a heartbreaking statement moments before death. Just before the patient died, they looked at the nurse and said, "I think I made a huge mistake. I thought this was a hoax, but it's not." Appleby said. Appleby made the case public as the spike in cases for the Bexar County continues in Texas. She wants everyone, especially those in the younger demographic, to realize that they're not invincible. It doesn't discriminate, and none of us are invincible, Appleby said. I don't want to be an alarmist, and we're just trying to share some real-world examples to help our community. Oh, well, that's so liberal of you. That's so liberal tier snowflake. Helping your community. That's not the American way anymore. You got to drink your community's tears, Dr. Appleby. If you're not drinking the tears of your fellow Americans, then you're not a patriot, according to Republicans, because that's what they do. They have coffee cups. They sell merchandise that say liberal tears. They have no interest in having a system and a country that works for all. They have no interest. That's way over their head. Community, decency, dignity, democracy. That's so liberal. What is they talking? What are they talking about? Oh, I'm just trying to help my community. Oh, good for you. Oh, isn't that so progressive? So weakling, so snowflake of you. I'm so sick of Republicans. They're the weak ones. Republicans are weak. They're disgusting. Their entire mission is to drag us down to their level so they can kill more people. As long as people are dead and it's not them and they can make some money, that's all that matters. It really is. Please, somebody prove me wrong. Give me an example of Republicans doing the right thing. Twitler went to Walter Reed today wearing a mask. Oh, whoopee, effing doopy. A little too late. Twitler. And all the corporate media, they're just going nuts. Look. Oh, look, everyone. Twitler, the con man, the crook, the one who elevates the crooked and harasses the decent. The one who attacks the decent. And, even Roger Stone, he said it right out loud. I thought I would get a pardon since, I had so much pressure on me to talk, and I didn't rat. This is who we're dealing with. A bunch of crooks, criminals that are using this system. And as they break it, there's no difference between them and a crime family. Absolutely none. Except that the crime family doesn't get, we don't have to play Hail to the Chief when the boss of the crime family walks in the door. Right? We don't have to salute the boss. We don't have to hang pictures of the boss in the halls of the president. Get the F out of here. That's what's going to be so sick that we have to, we're going to all pretend? Are we really that much in a stupor? Just how broken is this country that we all have to go along with the denial? You don't have to honor people who aren't honorable just because a lot of assholes voted for them. Just because they tickled the fissures of disunity and they exploited racism and division and the death of the middle class that was brought to us courtesy of both sides of the aisle. So they, into that disparity, they don't come in to fix it or make it better. This is not FDR and a New Deal. We got the same old deal. The same old as recorded history deal. Divide and conquer. Exploit. Tickle the fissures of disunity, especially along racial lines. Ensure that the American people never get together and understand that we are in this together. Yeah, e pluribus unum is a nice motto, but it's also a nice model of living. It makes you want to cry when you think about this. The whole thing. I can't believe where I live sometimes. We don't deserve this because we didn't vote for this. That's the other thing. Republicans are cheaters. They are not a majority party. They're in this, they're squatting in the White House, they're squatting in the Senate, exploiting the broken system, taking advantage of it, rigging it, ensuring that they can maintain power by hook or by crook. They're not in there trying to help. So the fact is, we're in the majority. That's why I ask all the time, how much longer are we going to take it? Because let's get out of our stupor. Let's stop pretending that we're dealing with people who have any interest in having a functioning system. They don't want they don't want to function. They want to create an oligarchy with a completely disempowered majority, a working class. That you're nothing but a bunch of just hosts from which to suck profit and discard for these parasites. And they want you as malleable and compliant and complicit as possible. So here's this person. We don't get his name or her name. I thought it was a hoax. Well, I guess because you're dumb, I'm sorry, you're dead, but you believed a con man. That's when, sort of like those who fell for Trump University. Oh, I thought it was a real university. I'm sorry. You got hooked up with a con man. It happens. I'm not saying that it's completely your fault. Some people are just fooled. He's a con man. It's like, oh, I thought these Trump Network vitamins were going to make me healthy. I'm sorry. Those are non-FDA approved, and they're crap. Oh, God. So, chalk another death up to the Republican Party. A 30-year-old. I thought this was a hoax. Well, why would, when you say that, it's not like you didn't hear that somewhere. It's not like the president of the U.S., of the so-called president of the United States, wasn't calling it a hoax. Gee, where would you get that from? Meanwhile, in New Zealand, they're going about their business as usual. 43,000 fans pack a stadium for a rugby game after New Zealand beats the coronavirus. From Sports Illustrated, a magazine, Dan Gartland. People in New Zealand did something this weekend that's a distant memory for Americans. They filled a stadium nearly to capacity for a sporting event. New Zealand says it has successfully beaten the coronavirus. No one has tested positive for the virus since May 22nd. Minister Jacinda Ardern, and the socialist, announced last week that the country had successfully halted the spread of the virus, but should be prepared for the possibility of new cases in the future. In the meantime, nearly all of the restrictions put in place to slow transmission of the virus have been lifted. That means sports are back and back to normal. New Zealand has 5 teams that compete in the Super Rugby team. Blah, 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 blah. Now they're talking about rugby. Yeah, look. It's almost like a real, normal. See? That's a full stadium of people who get to enjoy life. Not here. They're opening up Disneyland in spite of the death. Of course, the damn camera goes out of focus again. Well, we just concede defeat to the virus. That's basically it. They were opening up Disneyland since... Why? Oh, we have to open it because of the economy. We can't keep it going. I ask again, why? Since the right-wingers and the Republicans, they don't want to help this economy. They are too busy rigging the system, the PPP money and the bailout money, going to grifters, as usual, greedy-ass grifters, sucking money right out of whatever crisis we have. Here they come, swooping down. That's the system Republicans created. They like it like that. And, you can't let the Democrats completely off the hook. Why did they let it? Why? Nancy Pelosi met with Mitch McConnell, and she basically signed on to everything McConnell said, and then presented it to her caucus as a done deal. That is an effing disgrace. And Nancy Pelosi and all of this is why, honestly, we need a real revolution in this country. From the both sides. The Democrats are better, but they're not. Many of them are part of the problem. Nancy Pelosi, what the hell? She's not somebody that has big ideas. This is no FDR. The only thing that's working in our favor is that she's 80 effing years old. Take a retirement. Let's get some new, normal people. Let's get some FDR Democrats in there. God damn it. This is Tara Devlin. Thank you. This is Tarabuster. We'll be right back. Mamma mia. First of all, I got to tell you, we're doing the Patreon challenge at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. So become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. I haven't had any new patrons in a couple of days, so that's probably why I'm a little bit kind of more not feeling good as I hang by a thread as it is. You guys don't even really know. Ask Poppy. She knows. It's hard doing this show. It is. Oh my God. I'm looking at the chat. Thank you, Jim, of course, for your super chat. And thank you, Stephen Lee, another super chat. Those help too. You guys are going above and beyond the Call of Duty because you're also patrons. So thank you. Oh my God. Well, Poppy can call in at any time if she'd like, if she's listening. Here's something. I just wanted to show you this. This is what prompted me to say, let me get the hell out of this country. Well, first, not just get the hell out of this country, but should we break this effing country up? Here we go.
We don't cover our face in America. They don't control us. We're Americans.
For those who are listening on Progressive Voices on the podcast, it's another meltdown of the proverbial Karen at some shop somewhere, buying food, not wearing a mask. Someone said something to her, I suppose. She has a conniption, and thus, caught in the act of being herself, a racist Trumpanzee starts screaming about freedom, starts screaming about all lives matter, mother effer, and Trump 2020. How come? It's that spiritual axiom. Not all ugly on the inside, racist morons are Republicans, but all ugly on the inside, racist morons are Republican.
You must be Democrat.
Oh, yes. So she says, you must be a Democrat.
You worship Obama, don't you?
She's giving the finger.
Peace, love, harmony. Trump 2020, baby. Did you just
Then she's like, you call me bitch?
call me a bitch? I got you, bitch.
Look at them. Nice. Look at them. The great American, I don't know. That's your master race, I suppose? That's who's going to make America great? How come we get them on video when we catch them all? We're always catching them in the act of being themselves, but they're never acting like decent people. They're always acting like morons, screaming, who won't do anything to help anybody else. They won't put on a mask because that's something against their freedom. What? Their freedom to be a dumb bastard, an ugly, dumb bastard. That's what their freedom is. This is why I say today, again, maybe we need to goddamn break this country up. That's where I go. How much? If it's too much, I can't stand these people. I don't want to live with them. Obviously, they look like they hate us, too. They let them have their own little tiny gross world. They could all live in it. They could build a wall, and they can all die of coronavirus with Twitler as their standard bearer, despite receiving, well, I'm sure he'll win in a landslide. It'll be like Saddam Hussein, 90% of the vote, or 99 or whatever he gets, and Putin too. So let them go. They're obviously incapable of having a functioning in society with decent people. That's one of the things. The founding fathers and mothers, they, I guess, assumed that most of us, I don't know, maybe, what do I know what they assumed? That they would be capable of, well, that's why Thomas Jefferson said that that education was so important and it's vital to democracy. Do you think these people are educated? Ignorance is their birthright. What do they do in their spare time? These are people who listen to, they're on InfoWars. They think that they are getting the inside track. They're on QAnon. Talking about conspiracy theory. Democrat. Oh, you're a Democrat, she says. Meanwhile, what do you think they're on some kind of public assistance to? What do you want to bet? Not that, hey, I don't have anything wrong with that. That's fine. But you understand that they lack the maturity, the decency to say thank you. They are, these are the people that you don't want to put in power. Look at them. I got Trump 2020.
Fucking Democrat, Antifa motherfuckers, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, motherfuckers.
Black lives matter. All lives matter, motherfucker. If only. If all lives mattered, we wouldn't have to say Black Lives Matter. But what does she know? She's just a Trumpanzee. That is a Trumpanzee. In its natural environment. I feel like Jane Goodall studying the apes watching this video. It's not a pretty sight, though. We're going to get Poppy in here. Poppy Champlin.
What up, Tara?
Did you hear the video on the... Can you hear it?
I was watching some of that.
Oh,
yeah.
my God. What a world.
It's gross.
It's terrible.
They're drunk, though. It's like they're drunk. It's like all of his people are drunk or on crack or... You know what I mean?
Right.
They're just drunken idiots.
That's right. And they're horrible people, though. They're ugly people on the inside. I mean, they're really ugly.
Yeah, because they're drunk. They're just out of their minds.
I don't know. I never behaved like that when I was drunk. I was maybe I was belligerent, but I would never. I don't know if I was like that.
That's because you're gay. You don't. Straight women when they're drunk are disgusting.
Right. That's true. Well, what is she? She's gross. Look at her man walking around with his no shirt, with his belly hanging down. Gross. I mean, he's just vile human beings.
I ran into one 4th of July. I almost had a slap down.
What happened?
Had to slap this woman.
What happened?
Well, apparently I was trespassing on their property. I mean, apparently it was my fault. But
oh man, well,
they live on the beach. They
right.
live on the beach, so apparently they think they own the beach.
Right.
And I just drove up and was just looking to see if the barge of fireworks was going to be at the beach, and they were just like, "Get out of here!" And they just turned it, just so ugly. Just they couldn't just say,
right.
"Sorry, this is private property,"
right.
But they were just like, "Get off of my property! I'm calling the cops!" And
right.
Just like, ugh.
Right. That's disgusting. Well, that's who they are. They can't act decent. This is what I mean. Everywhere you look, they're hanging by a thread, it seems. That
right.
Everyone is at each other's throats. I don't know if you saw, there was a video, some lady who she I don't know, she bumped into somebody at a Chipotle, and then they drew a gun on the family. She's like,
Oh my God.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. What?
It's turning into the purge.
Right. And she's like, back up! I am afraid! Back up! And then there was another guy.
What?
Yeah, I'm afraid. I fear for my safety. You know, like, so they're trying to make it like they, like they're building a case, so to speak. Like, and there was another guy he was in, I don't know, Home Depot or something. And he actually got fired, I think. And now that's the other thing, because people get fired. They become internet famous, and they're getting fired. So you just behave yourself. Don't act like a douche. And anyway, this guy was screaming at somebody because it's always about not wearing a mask. That's the other thing. So there was this guy that was screaming in somebody's face saying, back up! I am afraid! And he was going at, like he was being really aggressive. Let me get this fucking video.
Oh, my God.
But anyway, it was just ridiculous. And then there was another video of there's all these bastards. They think they're, they're like, it's like Hamilton. They're fighting for the free truth, justice, and the American way if they're not wearing a mask. Right?
Well, they've made themselves the deputy marshals of masks.
Right. Exactly. And not wearing a mask while everyone's dying. All right, dum-dums. It's like, leave us alone. And like this one lady at Home Depot. Oh, God. Here comes the music. We have to.
Okay.
You can hear the music, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That means it's working. So we're on the phone with Poppy Champlin, amazing comedian, friend of Tarabuster, and regular contributor to Tarabuster. Go and check her out at poppychamplin.com and check out her shows, her live shows. And anyway, so what? What were you saying? Mm-hmm. Go ahead. You gonna plug?
I'm actually gonna do one on July 25th.
You're gonna do an in-person show? It's not a Zoom thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's good. Right, that's good.
Yeah.
Progress. But so there was this lady when it was before we went to the break. The lady at Home Depot, an old lady that you guys might have seen it. I don't know. I could probably find the video, but she was asked to wear a mask or not shop in the store. Now it's no mask, no service in many of these, most of these stores. And the lady was being really nice to her and asking her, okay, can you please wait outside while I get the, because she's like, I want the manager, and so can you please wait outside? And then she sat down in the middle of the floor like she had a tantrum, like a baby would, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And the woman was like, are you okay, ma'am? Do you need a seat? We have chairs, ma'am. Would you like a seat?
We have a therapist.
Right. Really, this country needs therapy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah.
It's a mess, and that's why you can't. The whole thing, a house divided against itself cannot stand. It is the truth, and they are deliberately dividing and conquering this country, and it's all right for the unholy dollar. That's what it's about. They want
it is.
Yes, it's all for money.
Why would a divided country make more money?
It's because of the oligarchy. They don't want a functioning democratic society that's an egalitarian society that works for all people. What they're doing, they are deliberately. I mean, look at the statistics. They're putting. Go ahead. Sorry.
But the people that vote for him are not rich people.
No, I know, and that's because I'm glad you're asking these questions because this is really good. This is a good conversation. It really is what we talk about on the show in a nutshell. The poor, they are exploiting. This is what the Republicans do, this fake populist shit. So we 40 years ago, the United States was the most upwardly mobile, and we had the slightest, the slimmest gap between rich and poor.
Uh-huh.
40 years, fast forward to today, it is now the exact opposite. We are the least upwardly mobile with the widest income gap. They started to dismantle the regulations because the middle class wasn't created because the rich were feeling benevolent and they wanted to trickle on us,
Right.
It was created we only really had a functioning middle class only really for a short period of time. It's called the Great Prosperity. It's after World War II. It was really a result of the New Deal policies, which, of course, being a racist-ass country that we are, the New Deal also excluded black people. Okay, so many of the New Deal policies they couldn't partake in. They were excluded. GIs were black GIs. They were excluded from the GI Bill. They weren't able to buy homes with their GI bill. Exactly. That's why it's when AOC said this is how fucked. Oh, sorry. I'm trying not to curse on the show, but whatever. How messed up this country is. Like, for example, AOC said that the New Deal had racist aspects. And then, of course, like Joe Scarborough and all the corporate media goes screaming crazy. Oh, AOC says that FDR was racist. Well, let's have an honest conversation. Yeah. He had to get the buy-in of the racist Southerners who at the time had D's after their name. That's incidental. That doesn't really mean anything. But they that's another story. So he had to get the buy-in by excluding black people because that's really the bottom line. This country, the original sin of this country is, of course, racism, and we've never really dealt with it. And they have exploited that. The last thing that Republicans want us to do is to have that truth and reconciliation over race, especially, and become a united states. And so why would they do that? What does it mean when we have a divided country? Look at the rich. We have more wealth. There's more wealth in this country. The concentration of wealth in this country is worse. It's beyond records, right? The corporations are reaping record profits. The rich are richer. The income gap between rich and poor is wider than it was in ancient effing Rome. So they're doing amazingly well in this broken system. So here's the thing. They don't want us to realize that we're in this together, that the working people, just like in the French Revolution or any time the workers have demanded a seat at the table, they want us to be fighting amongst each other instead of turning our energies at the top and understanding that the rich really do own this government and they're buying the politicians and they are corrupting government. I mean, we have legal bribes built right into the system. If the working class unified and stood together as a unified force, I mean, there would be nothing we couldn't do. We would have a country that works for all, but there has to be some kind of, they have to. Here's the thing: that if we go, if we tax the rich as Eisenhower did at a 90% top marginal tax rate, that is stopping an intergenerational aristocracy. There is nothing more patriotic than that. And so
let's do it.
That's why, but this is why they keep us fighting with each other, because it's a wasted energy. And then the Democrats, this is another reason why the Democrats, we need a progressive revolution in this country, because the Democrats will, of course, they're better. They're not complete monsters, but they're not doing anything radical. Like, it's not even radical. What we're asking for is, we're not asking. We can't ask. We have to demand. But we need to have policies that we have had in this country at different times, like a 90% top marginal tax rate, like a 35% unionized workforce, and you know what I mean? The stuff like that where you tax the rich with progressive taxation so that they don't have such concentrated wealth where they buy politicians and who write the laws to make, you know what I mean? So anyway, and it really comes down to money in politics and also this divide and conquer. Yeah, and the rich, but that's the thing. The Trumpanzees, they're not rich. These are useful idiots. No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're not rich. Why are they going for it?
Because I have a theory. I don't know. I think I'm correct, and I think there has been some studies. We always hear about the white working class, the Trump base, the white working class, how he's whatever. They voted for Trump because they know that there's something wrong. Their jobs have been sent overseas. Their economy is, like, for example, during the Great Prosperity, the number one employer in this country was General Motors, that had a $30 an hour or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what their hourly rate was, but they had that was the number one employer who you had decent working conditions. It was a unionized workforce. The number one private employer. Let me clarify. And you could retire in security and with a pension. Now it's Walmart, where they don't pay a living wage, not even close, where they have the majority or the however you say it is, the most people on public assistance, and who are working for Walmart. So they're working and they're on public assistance. So this is not an accident. This happened through policies. It happened through trade, tax, and tariff policies. And in the meantime, what Democrats do is they throw subsidies at the poorest of the poor. Instead of fixing the broken system, they'll throw a subsidy at some poor people. So it's sort of like, okay, shut up, here's a subsidy. And it makes them feel, I guess, like they're doing something, but it really enables the broken system. It doesn't help, ultimately. It doesn't help fix it, Okay, hold on. But that's how they do it. They divide and conquer, and that's why you will never hear a Republican say, let's evolve. What do you mean when you say Black Lives Matter? What is your American experience? No, that's why they say all lives matter, because they don't want that conversation. And ultimately, what I was going to say was that it really is racism. And they have done studies on these Trumpanzees that they all this talk about the economic insecurity of the white working class. That may be true, but it boiled down to racism for them, because Trump, he tells it, in their minds, he says, they're telling it like it is. He's not telling it like it is. He's telling it like it was when, and they're these white people, some of these racist white people, that's like their greatest thing. And in fact, like, we played a James Baldwin clip of him saying that it's as horrible as their lives are, they can at least I'm not black, and at least they could kick down on somebody else. They're above somebody else in their minds. You know what I mean? Even if they don't even realize. That's why, why would you not even have that conversation? This country has this racist ass history, and they don't want to hear it. They don't want to understand anybody else's experience but their own. Not,
There was never. Has there ever been a president? I'm surprised Obama didn't put in
Right.
to his presidency reparations and I'm
Right.
sorry.
He would never. He would
like
never. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
how come he didn't do that?
I mean, no. Reparations are very divisive because we don't have the maturity, in my opinion, to really recognize just how racist this country is and just how we have been built on racism. That's why we need to teach the real history of this country. Sure, you have, and people talk about like taking down statues of Washington and Jefferson. I'm not for taking those statues down because I feel like that that just triggers the unnecessary angst in the unnecessary I feel like take down the traitor statue, the people who were traitors to this country. But we really should teach the real history of Jefferson and Washington and their slave owning hypocrisy and how that, why not teach about that? Yeah, even those who wrote all men are created equal, they weren't talking about women. They weren't talking about anybody who wasn't a white man, a white property owner. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's teach that and teach that this is why you, as we are trying to have a more perfect union, you have to really guard against the lower, baser, whatever that is in the human condition that would enable somebody to do that. Because we're otherwise,
I was watching this program on MSNBC last night, and they were talking about, all the statues and everything coming down, and how there was this auction block in Fredericksburg, I think, and they wanted to get rid of that auction block because it was just a painful reminder of how we treated these people. But there was another monument to somebody else, some other slave trader, and it looked exactly like the Washington Monument.
Oh, wow. Really?
It's like this giant pillar, with the pointy top, and to me it looked like a Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right.
And it's like, holy shit, this one, it was built, the Washington has the largest racist monument standing.
It's true. Right. Well, people even think we were watching a clip from The View with Joy Reid and all them, and we call it The View from the Ivory Tower, and Joy Reid was like, it's true though. Joy Reid was like, oh, what about Washington? We should do something she was defending Washington because he freed his slaves at the end of his life. That's really there's a more complicated story there, and we talked about it on the show about Washington slave. He owned a woman called Oni Judge who escaped him, and Martha, because after she thought that she was going to be freed by them, and then however she found out that Martha had bequeathed her in her will to her granddaughter. So she was like, I'm out of here, bitches. And and so Washington pursued her and hounded her for the rest of her life. He thought it was really what do you call it? It was really mean of her. Like, it was insulting. Why would you run away? He took it personally. He thought that didn't I treat you well? And but he was also not a great. He also we read a story here a couple of shows ago of him. He was one of the he really worked his slaves mercilessly. So he wasn't and that's how he thought. And he really was an unabashed racist because he thought that and there are writings where he says, I'm just paraphrasing, if you don't watch that, black people in general are whatever they you have to watch them or they won't work. You have to really mercilessly and he was also merciless in his punishments against them too. I mean, there were worse.
Really?
Yeah, but there are worse. I mean, there are real. I watched this whole thing because I like the great courses. You guys know I talk about the great courses, even though they don't sponsor the show. I don't know why I talk about it. Why should I?
You like the great courses?
Yes, but I like it. But then I had a thing with them because they said Democrat Party. I don't want to go into it because I was watching one of their it was the impeachment of Andrew Johnson movies, and in the script it said Democrat Party instead of Democratic Party. There is no Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is an epithet. It is a pejorative that the Republicans deliberately use to disparage the Democratic Party. The name of the party is the Democratic Party. So they have used it so much that it's now in a script at the great courses, and I tweeted at them like, "What is this? This is," and I clipped it out, and they actually responded after tweeting numerous times and also tagging the Democratic Party, and they were like,
I don't think that they're that great.
Oh yeah, you watched the great courses?
No, I bought a course from
On
the
what?
great courses of vocabulary and writing.
Yeah, it all depends.
I just found it very what's the word when things just go around and around, like
repetitive?
not coming to a conclusion, like finishing their thoughts and making it concise, and I did find it somewhat I don't know. It didn't feel democratic,
Yes. It didn't feel what?
Well,
democratic?
It didn't feel. Yeah, it felt.
Really?
It felt like the words that they would use, that they were trying to teach and whatnot, were like instigating kind of words, and I don't know.
I guess it depends.
I'm not feeling good with this.
Well, it all depends on, as always, the teacher and
right.
Any teacher, even what we all know. Like when I was in college, and I'm sure other people, you can relate. The teacher can make or break whatever subject it is. So I don't know who they. I've watched some great courses that I really like. There's a teacher, one of the professors, who does a lot of the Roman courses. I really like him, and it all depends on the course.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
on the
horrible
teacher
in third grade.
Yes, me
her?
too. No, tell me.
Yeah. Mrs. Sidlowski in third grade. She, instead of us singing Star Spangled Banner every morning, we had to sing her favorite song, which was Dear Heart.
That's so not Dear Heart. What is that?
Dear heart, wish you were here.
Oh my God.
Doo-doo. Can you believe it?
That instead of
that every morning to her?
That's amazing. Instead of the Star Spangled Banner, that's the best. That's so great. Could you imagine? Oh my God. Good.
And then she told us that there were snipers out in the potato fields, and that when we went to the pencil sharpener, we had to duck down under the window so we didn't get shot.
Why would she do that? Were you bringing?
Crazy.
Wait, maybe she didn't want somebody else to see that she was taking her children out of the school. You know what I mean? So she made you all duck down, so nobody could see you. I don't know. What? You're like, what? Well, I had a nice teacher too in third grade who I really like. His name was Mr. Ruff. Well, I think he's still alive. But in fact, I was talking to I don't know if he's alive now. This was years ago. I was talking to somebody whose child was going to. Well, I was talking to the kid. My friend's kid was going to my PS8 where I went, and I said, "Oh, I had my favorite teacher, Mr. Ruff." I loved him, and he taught us about the Iroquois Indian, and he was just an amazing teacher. I still remember him. Then she said, "That's my teacher." So,
Oh.
yeah. Well, she said he was retiring soon, but he must have been really old. Oh my God, it's pouring out. Scared the hell out of me. Yeah. Scared me.
Not here yet. Not in Rhode Island.
Wow, it's pouring out. Well, anyway, so let's keep going. We have many things. There's so much going on. What else is happening with you? Just to say hello, everybody. Let me see what's on the chat here. Let me see if anybody... let me see. I can't find you guys. But go ahead. You could talk. Go ahead, talk. We need to talk. This is a talk show.
Well, I can't tell if I'm starting to lose it or not, you know?
Tell me.
Like, because Joker's on again, and I'm watching it again, and I start to relate to Joker.
Oh, God. Yeah. Really? Right.
You know? I'm like, uh-oh. I'm going crazy. Because I'm a comedian, and comedians are effed up.
That's true.
And I haven't been able to perform in so long.
Right.
That, you know, I just start performing in the market now. I just start telling jokes to people at the market.
And how do they respond?
I mean, there's an audience there. I don't know, not well. I just keep trying to talk to people, and nobody wants to talk.
As long as they don't pull a gun on you, like that lady.
Oh, yeah, but
or these Trump
nobody
banzees.
wants to talk to you. Everybody's too nervous.
It's true. I think everybody's just on edge, and that's the problem. This country is sick. It is really suffering. Really? I have a theory that we're all suffering from PTSD, and this is why if Joe Biden wins, and I hope he does, just to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
But if he is the president, we have more work to do. And partly that's why this show and others like it are so important, because people just don't seem to get it, I think. I don't know. That it's not, we can't just go back to brunch. We have to have a system. We have to build a system like what FDR talked about, how you win a lasting peace. You build a working class, because he even said it. I mean, how many other presidents have warned us as well about the stuff of dictatorship, into the disunity, into the disparity, the income disparity that we have. That's how a dictator is born. It doesn't happen. If Twitler decided to run for office in an economy that was working for all, he would never get out of the gate. There's no way. He would be laughed off of the stage. Or, he would have been laughed off the escalator.
Right. He should have been laughed off the stage. I can't believe this even happened.
It's unreal. And that's why I'm like, we have a lot of work to do. Also, that's why we have to really, and this is what bothers me about Joe Biden, is that he gives the Republicans too much credit, really. Like, he says he's going to work with them, and what are you going to work with them for? This is an irredeemable party. They are crooks. Look at what they've done to this country. Every time they get their disgusting, greedy fingers around the neck of power, how many people have to die? How many fake wars? Not fake wars, illegal wars.
Yeah.
How many Americans have to die? How many Americans have to die without health care? Or how many Americans have to be killed by cops? How many Americans?
Right.
I mean, how much longer do we take it? Really? And now,
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know why there isn't an uprising. Like, what's going on with the protests? And how come the whole country isn't in a protest?
Because they have us so goddamn divided. This is why media is important. They wouldn't have been able to do what they have done without their propaganda outlets. See, we have a whole other side of this country that they don't listen to shows like this. They're listening to Fox News. They're listening to Hannity and Breitbart, who are run by billionaires that are deliberately lying to them. I mean, they've done studies.
How are they coming up with these? How are they coming up with these horrific ideas?
Like what? What horrific idea?
Oh, horrific ideas to divide and to call everything a fucking hoax.
Oh,
and
God.
To,
Right. Right. Well, that's just Trump. But he just shows us what that the Republicans are an irredeemable party. Look at who they made their standard bearer. And they protect him? Forget about it. And everything that he's done. Now, apparently, Mitch Romney has come out and he's criticized Trump for pardoning Roger Stone. So in Trump's administration, the good get drummed out of service. They get rid of the decent people and they elevate the crooks and the con men and the people who effing plead guilty. Like Michael Flynn, who pled guilty twice to, I mean, how many also, what was the other, the conspiracy against the United States was one of the charges that he pled guilty to. You know, imagine, this is how you know Republicans are an irredeemable party. Because if that was Obama, if one person conspiracy against the United States, it was when he wore a tan suit, that was a conspiracy against the United States, right? Right? So now it's the actual conspiracies against the United States are business, you know, no harm, no foul. And it's like you never, everywhere you look, everywhere. It started with the first day when he got in office, where one of the first things he did, a couple of things, all of his executive orders. One of the first executive orders was rolling back the fiduciary laws, where financial advisors had to have your best interests at heart. Oh, well, what could that hurt when you allow, you know, this is the man of the people, right? And then another thing that he did was make it legal for hunters to shoot hibernating bears. I mean, this is a disgusting, vile.
Because his son likes to hunt.
Yeah, like you got to hunt. What's the hunting? When you're shooting somebody when they're sleeping.
Sleeping.
Freaking disgusting ghouls. And also bear cubs. That's another. You know, there were rules. Oh, now a hunter can just shoot a sleeping bear mom and her couple of cubs. Why not? Isn't that fun? Yeah. How these people are gross. They're disgusting. And everywhere how come we don't see, you know, everybody has a camera now. Everybody has they're all getting internet famous with their masks and having tantrums. But we never see a video of them acting decent. I think I might faint if I saw one, right? Hold on. And nothing, we're talking with Poppy Champlin, amazing comedian, amazing friend, and Tarabuster, regular contributor. But I have to say that nothing really personifies just how broken this country is. Well, besides everything else that personifies it. Right? But except how Disney World has reopened in the middle of a pandemic. And, hello? What? They just conceded defeat, basically. All of the Republicans' plans, you know, the 14 days to stop the spread. Remember this? Pence coming out and giving a press conference, 14 days to stop this. And I guess we just forget about that. Why are you wasting our time? This is what we all see right in front of our faces, the con, the grift. Just pretend, here we go. We made up a PDF, 14 days to stop the spread. If it doesn't work out, we open anyway. How are they going to? Really, it's I don't know. I'm of two minds about it too, because I'm sort of like, all right, Darwin, take the wheel. Let it go. Mm-hmm. Just take these Trumpansies.
That's what Trump is doing.
Right.
That's what it feels like they're doing. They're letting the wildfire burn.
Right.
And they're burning it feels like they're burning all the the dead wood
That's-
from the floor of the forest, and they're letting it burn.
Yes,
And
no,
they're
you're
letting
right.
people die, and they're not doing anything to stop it because they don't care about those people.
That is
and those are
right.
the people that vote for him.
That is right. There was, now that you're saying this, I'm looking this up. There was a Republican, especially how you described it. There was where is this Republican who said that exact thing. What is that called when they burn out the fire? That the coronavirus. He said that.
Just letting it burn.
Yeah. Let me see. Republican. Let me see. If I look up
That's
forest
what he
fire.
said from the beginning.
Yes. But there was a guy. Let me see. Republican says. I'm just.
I mean, it's healthy for a forest to burn that stuff out, but I don't think it's healthy for a country to do that.
No. Well, he's this one. I'm trying to find the exact. Maybe somebody on the chat can say, because he said that same exact thing. I'm trying to find who it was exactly, but that's how they put it. That we have to burn it down because it'll be good for our social safety net and getting rid of all of the dead weight and the dead. You're just a dead nothing. You're nothing. If you can't be... Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, they're calling old people.
Yes.
And they're calling people with pre-existing conditions, and they're calling black people, and they're calling Latino people, and people that are having trouble fighting the virus. They're calling them dead weight, basically, and let them burn.
Right. It's disgusting. And I thought that all lives mattered, though. Right? All lives mattered? That's why. They're such goddamn hypocrites. Beyond compare. Beyond belief. And I don't know. I go back and forth. And I'll bring it up again because it just popped into my mind. Because I just wondered, are we going to be able to have a functioning country with these goddamn albatrosses, these anchors around our ankles? And maybe we should break it up, this country. Break it up. Break it in two. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, just secede. Half the time, on the show, we talk about go Galt. Get the hell out already. What are you waiting for? Why are you bothering us? If it's such a burden, like on a couple of shows ago, the hypocrisy of Republicans, the Ayn Rand Institute taking PPP money, just like Ayn Rand herself, right? But when reality meets their ideology, they always end up. They're all socialists now, right? Every time. But in the meantime, we have to endure listening to their bullshit constantly. And go ahead. Sorry.
What is Kanye West? Who is that?
Oh, Kanye West. Kanye West.
Kanye West. He's gonna run for president.
Oh God. He was. I have no idea. I saw that on Twitter, and I thought, this is just another waste of energy right here.
And he was dressed up as a clown, and he got I don't know how many millions of dollars in his PPP package from the president.
Well, that's it. A lot of these rich, they were able to get the list from I don't know how they got it. I think it might have been Freedom of Information, but they got the list that Mnuchin was trying to hide, the list of people that's one of the things. Isn't this, they're just so out in the open with their corruption that they hide.
Yeah.
They were trying to hide it. And it's they feel so put upon that we get to see who robbed the American people. They hate this country. Right. That's what it's. Well, they love it. They love the attaching their greedy gullets to our federal treasury like goddamn parasites. But they really hate a democratic republic, a constitutionally limited democratic republic that works for all. They hate the working class. They hate the working. Because if they really did, think about this. If they loved this country and they were really working for the people that they pretend to represent, would they put them in danger? Would they risk their lives telling them that this is a hoax? You know what I mean? They wouldn't.
Right.
And they wouldn't unleash the idiots on the society. They only do that because it really works in their game plan. Divide and conquer. And everybody, I don't know, did you see this couple that we talked about them on the show? They took out weapons, and the Black Lives Matter, they lived in a gated community, and the Black Lives Matter were having a protest, and they went into the gated community. Oh well, I'm all for that. They were all like, this is a private property. All the right-wingers who supposedly love America, right? They're so freedom. It's private property. Meanwhile, you know, what do you care? Private. I mean, these are people that walk around in tri-corner hats and 1700. You know what I mean? Private, like the founders were the ones who committed a $1 million act of vandalism against private property. It was called the Boston Tea Party, but okay. Now,
Right.
Exactly. So what are you talking about? So they walked, so Black Lives Matter activists and protests went into this gated community, and these two assholes went out there with assault weapons pointing guns at everybody.
Oh my God.
And they, of course, got... they lawyered up. They're rich. These are lawyers themselves, but they got a lawyer. And they were saying, we were so afraid for our lives. They're so afraid.
So that's the new line, huh?
Yep. We're afraid. Oh, they're coming to get us. They were like, oh, it's like the Bastille. But apparently, where is this? Wait. Florida. I had the damn article, but now I lost it. I think they got arrested, which I was going to...
Oh, good.
I know. Well, it took them long enough. And I think their guns were confiscated. Let me see. Where is this? Because they were
I don't understand.
Go ahead.
How if they have the right to carry permits, I don't understand how. Like, I don't understand how those people went into Michigan's Capitol loaded with all of their.
I know.
Weapons. How was that legal?
Because whatever right wingers do, they get away with it. Could you imagine
crazy.
What would happen if Black Lives Matter did that with assault weapons?
Right.
Forget it. They would be murders.
I am verklempt over that.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Wait, hold on. We'll be right back. We're talking to Poppy Champlin. This is Tara Devlin. See you in a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the end of the show? No, let me see. Oh my God, it's the end of the show. But it's not really. You can listen to the rest of the show on iTunes or on demand on the Progressive Voices channel on TuneIn. My name is Tara Devlin. Please become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin and support the independent liberal media. We stick together, we win, because we are on the right side of history. We are on the right side of democracy, right side of humanity, and we can't do it without you. I'll see you soon. All right, that's over. Now we're on. See, okay, we are. We have to cut the show down for Progressive Voices, so the Progressive Voices part of the show is over, but the show will go on. The show continues on every other platform. So anyway, yeah, that because they sell commercials on Progressive Voices now.
Oh, okay.
Even though I don't see a dime. And that's because my life sucks. What can you do? No, I can't say that. That's bad karma to say that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't disparage myself. What?
Did you get another job?
Shut up. No. What are you talking about?
No?
Did I get another job? No. No, I
Yeah.
didn't get another job. No.
Mm.
Not yet. Well, I don't want to talk
will?
about this on right here online on live TV.
No, we're still on Facebook.
What? Yes, we're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on. Yes. Okay. So for everybody who's tuning in, I have a freelance job. That's what I was doing, trying to make money. This is why I ask people to become patrons so we can do a show every day instead of having to go out and do work in the gig economy, trying to hustle up work. But I had a full-time freelance job working for AT&T/DirecTV, doing television work, which is what I do on the side. And they took PPP money, and the CEO announced his retirement with a $270 million a month pension, and also
Come on.
on top of his $33 million a year. And then they proceeded to fire thousands and thousands of people, including me, even though, well, I'm just a freelancer, but they fired a lot of thousands of staff as well. So that's the story
Wow.
there. And I'm trying to do this. So that's why I ask people to be a patron and support the show and blah, blah, blah. If
Yeah.
that comes down, we'll have a real show that goes on every single day, like Randy Rhoads, like Tom Hartman. Otherwise, maybe, I don't know, maybe I can't do the show every day. Maybe I'll just hang it up and say, fuck it. And, yeah, because I think about that too every day. I think about it every goddamn, approximately every 15 minutes. I think about it. So for the past, for as long as I've been doing the show, it is frustrating. I don't know. I wonder.
Yeah, if you don't get enough money, I mean, it's all about the money. I mean, it just seems like I could have made it as a comedian and a movie star out in L.A. had I had some money.
Right.
You know, you have to keep working in order to stay out there.
That's
but in order to
right.
stay out there, you got to go on the road. So you're
Right.
not really out there. And, but if you had a backer and money and people that were helping, it's so much easier. Like,
That's
even
right.
just a PR person, somebody that
Right.
just keeps pumping you, then you make it,
That's it.
You make it.
No,
Yeah.
I know. I don't know. I wonder sometimes because I'm like, well, we have a core group of supporters on the show.
Yes,
I
you
know
do.
I do. And they are here now. They're watching the show. They support the show. But then I think
They're awesome.
No, I am entirely grateful. So I
But
think
I mean, how much money can they throw?
That's
They
what I
can't throw.
mean.
They're
That's
just
why-
people like us.
why we need to grow the goddamn show. So, and then I look at other liberal talk shows and I'm like, but what the hell? How did they do it? How are they getting patrons? How are they? And then I guess maybe they have money. Like I know some other comedians, who have like a trust fund. They're not, you know what I mean? So,
And they get to make it because they can focus. They don't have to worry.
right.
and
They don't
all
have to
that shit.
work. So
They don't have to work.
that's why I say, I joke. It's not true. It is true though. I don't get out of the goddamn tri-state area. I don't have a day off. I work every single day on the show when I don't have, and I barely sleep. So I get up, I do the show, I do what I can to keep a roof over my head on top of it. I'm not like, we don't
You
have,
walk the streets at night for money.
yeah.
Roxanne,
It's true.
you don't have to put on that red dress.
But that's
Right
why
there.
we are in this boat, frankly. And I tell everybody on the platform, on the show, about Breitbart. That's true. That effing hack, Andrew Breitbart, he started Breitbart.com, and then the Mercer family came in and gave him $6 million to build the website, and they continue to fund it. They don't have to work or get patrons, or they have a billionaire backer, as long as they are pushing the right-wing anti-democratic line. So this is why the money is not in liberal talk shows. It's in conservatism. If you wanted to be a conservative, you'd find a backer quick enough. They're not gonna. If Breitbart turned around tomorrow and started talking about democratic solutions, a New Deal, and taxing the rich, and limiting corporate power, and having a country that worked for all, having a truth and reconciliation about our racist ass history, forget it. They'd be done.
Forget it.
They would be done
Wow.
instantaneously.
Yeah.
So, whatever. We'll see how long I can do it. If I don't know. Whatever. No, you really depress me. So.
I'm sorry.
What time is it? Is it over yet?
I'm doing gardening and landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
That's my new business. I'm making raised beds, and I'm doing landscaping, and I'm working with tools, and
How do you do
weird.
that?
It's like
What do you do?
I have tools, and I go out and I make shit.
Like what? You make shit.
Well, I make raised beds. I got another order for 1, 2, 3. I got 5 more orders for raised beds and flower boxes. I go out to construction sites and I dumpster dive, and I get out old wood that has been thrown away. I take all the nails out, and I build shit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
See?
And
And this
then
is Poppy Champlin. She's been on Oprah. She's had her own logo special. She's been on Showtime. You know what I mean? Hello.
Yeah.
That's why if you're an independent artist, you gotta hustle constantly.
That's right.
So, but
So
what do
I'm
you
hustling it.
sell? Do you, I mean, I don't know. I never seen this. What does it look
Well,
like?
now right now they started at $60 for a raised bed. Now I'm up to $75 for a raised bed.
What is
And
a
if they want the
raised bed?
dirt-
I don't understand what that is.
Well, it's just a giant flower box that you grow vegetables in.
Oh, okay. I see. I thought you meant like a bed, like in your bedroom or something.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
For vegetables outside.
I see. Okay, now I understand. That's good. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a very nice thing. Like a little, so deer don't come and eat the flowers? Is that it? Or
Yeah,
it's
well,
like-
I have to. Some people I had to make a cage over it so they wouldn't.
Right. That's good.
But something got in. I don't know what it was, but something got in.
Raccoons, probably.
They're tough, man.
No,
The
I
critters are
know.
tough.
I do know the raccoons because I do the feral cat thing. That's a volunteer thing. I work with the New York City feral cats, where there's one area that, I go and help and feed the feral cats and set up their little communities and little shelters for them, and we go out and we feed them and stuff. But anyway, this one area, there are definitely raccoons because these they're crafty, and we put out food. They constantly get it. It doesn't matter how we make it, try to secure it. They have hands with thumbs, okay?
Oh
So
yeah, they have opposable thumbs. That's right.
maybe they need to rule the world. So
They are. They're smart.
they are. I think they're cute. They're like Mother Earth's little bandits. They even have masks across their faces, like bandit masks. I think they're cute.
Yep.
I like them. I like them a lot.
They are.
But here,
I like 'em.
I'll take them. I wish, somebody, I would say, I wish you could keep them as pets. No, you can't keep them as pets. They're too mischievous. I think I saw something about somebody who had an orphaned raccoon, and he brought it, and he raised it as a pet. But it was, constantly tearing up his house, really. So it's not like you can really tame them. They're not like cats. Like, cats will just chill out, and cats are cool because they're very chill, and you can, what are they doing right now? Here, they're hanging out, they're sleeping somewhere. I don't know. They're very nice, to have around. But
Yeah.
let me see what's going on. I haven't checked in with the chat in a while.
Check in with the chat.
we gotta
Joker's about to blow away Murray on the TV.
You and Joker, stop getting your inspiration from Joker.
I know. Here he goes. He's gonna do it. Oh my God! It's like comedians we get a bad rap. Oh, he did it.
Oh man. Well, you've seen it
terrible.
before. You knew it was coming. So anyway,
know.
guys, on the chat, I just want to say hello. Oh God, this fucking thing. This is another thing that bothers me. Stupid thing in the back always goes off. Thank you all for your super chats. And like Stephen Lee and Jim and Shannon, thank you so much. We have how many people we got in our chat? We're getting some good chatters. People are chatting up. Oh yes. So let's go back to. We have about 20 minutes left on the show. Just letting you know. What I was talking about. I don't know if you saw those two people. They were. Wait. Whatever you're doing in the background is too loud. It's too much. You have to chill out.
Sorry.
It's banging and banging. So
I'm sorry, I dropped a knife.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
So Mark and Patricia McCloskey, did you see them? They went viral last month after brandishing weapons at a Black Lives Matter group. I don't know if you saw them. She looked like the goddamn Hamburglar. She was wearing black and white striped shirt. She's amazing. No, she's not. I mean, amazing in if amazing means stupid, but they
right.
And then of course they went and they got a lawyer. Well, they're lawyers. They live in a gated community, and they of course frame themselves as victims. You know, I don't know,
Right.
and. Well, it just came across. What is today? Yes, it's the 11th. Today at 3:00. Husband and
It's not the 11th.
yeah, it's the 11th. Yeah.
I think it's the 12th.
No, it's the 11th. I'm looking
But
at
the 15th is a Tuesday.
Oh my God, help me.
So that's tax debt.
Yeah, I'm not. We're talking about Patricia McCluskey right now, though. A husband and wife who. I don't know what's happening. What's going on? A husband and wife who were caught on video brandishing firearms at protesters outside their... it's St. Louis. I thought it was Florida for a second. Outside their St. Louis home have turned their rifle over to police after a search warrant was executed. Authorities went to Mark and Patricia McCloskey's home on Friday amid an ongoing investigation into the incident. The couple went viral last month after arming themselves with a rifle and a handgun as they confronted a group of protesters outside and protesting police brutality and recent actions by the mayor, the mayor went online and read the addresses of everybody who signed a petition to defund the police. So basically, she was calling for, not basically, that's what she was doing. She's intimidating the people.
Wow.
Right. So, you signed a petition to defund the police. Now, here are the addresses of the people who signed this petition. So, are you paying attention, police? If they call for the police, don't show up. Even though they're taxpayers. I mean, when they say defund the police, we're talking about let's return the police to your friendly neighborhood officer, not somebody who looks like they're armed in the middle of freaking Fallujah,
Yeah, right.
How
right,
much?
Fallujah.
Right. How many? How much? They have to show up to protests in riot gear. That just says it all. Nobody here in New York City, we saw the video of the police knocking protesters, not even protesters. The people were walking. They're saying, okay, everybody disperse. And there are videos of the police going up behind people, pushing them over, kicking them when they're down. I mean, it's...
Wow.
Yeah. It was disgusting. And giving white power symbols. That's another thing.
No.
I know. It's really disgusting. So, This is. I wonder. I just thought I'd bring it up just to this McCluskey, these McCluskey bastards, to see, because they got their guns taken away, and
Sure.
yeah, the couple. Where is it? In a video on the of the June 28th incident, Mark McCluskey is heard yelling, "Get the hell out of my neighborhood! Private property, get out!" So then when they show him on the news talking about how he was in fear for his life, and all he said was, please leave my neighborhood. This is private of course, in his mind. Right, they're so afraid for their lives. Meanwhile, they're the ones with the goddamn assault weapons and a gun pointing at people's heads. Like, just pointing at it. I don't know. If you've seen them, I'm going to put it up on the screen, what I'm looking at right now. They look ridiculous, too. If that's freedom, let's see. If I can make it bigger.
What is ironic?
What?
What is so ironic? And I see that Gilda Mayo just posted something about how there's 210 miles of wall. But the thing about the wall in Mexico and keeping the Mexicans out, and now Europe and Mexico and all of our neighbors, now they're going to keep Americans out.
I know, right? Yep.
Isn't that ironic?
Yep. It's not just ironic, it's sad and pathetic, really. Because we are the pariah.
It's karma.
Absolutely.
It's karma.
We're the pariah of Earth. We definitely are.
Yeah.
We're vile and disgusting. Why would you want to let us in? We are contaminated by this Twitler virus. We might, people who are working really hard to fight this virus, why would they let us in? Like New Zealand? Would they let us in? No way. They eradicated the virus. It's done there. They're going back to business as usual. They were able to get together.
Good for them.
And well, that's
happy for them, and that's a woman in charge.
Well, and a socialist too. She's a socialist.
And a socialist too.
Mm-hmm.
And Gina Raimondo here in Rhode Island, she's doing a great job. It's like the women, they know how to help and protect their citizens.
Right.
For some reason, shit ass doesn't give a crap.
Because he's incapable. That's the thing. He's a con man.
Mentally.
Well, he's a con man.
Yeah.
He could never do anything for real. 14 days to stop the spread? That's their plan to reopen America. They don't even follow their own stupid 14 whatever the hell to stop the spread. They were, in order to open, according to their own documents, their own suggestion, their own plan, I should say. They
have a plan?
Well, initially, supposedly, it was supposed to be, we would have 14 days of continuous lowering of every single day. The coronavirus cases would get lower and lower and lower. And if that was happening for 14 days, open up, everything can start opening.
Right.
So they don't, it's not even it's not happening anywhere. The coronavirus cases are going through the roof everywhere. It's not a spike.
Texas, Arizona.
Exactly. People are dying. And in record,
they need the PPE again. They need
right.
the gowns again. They need the ventilators again. And still, the government hasn't gotten their shit together to, as he says, put out the fires.
Right.
He doesn't even have a truck.
Right. Exactly. Except, right. What are they talking about on Breitbart? Let's go see.
Oh no.
For example.
How do you go see that?
You go to Breitbart.com. How do I see that? You just go there. Let's see. What's their headline? Mike Pence on Supreme Court. May be no issue more important to the life of the nation than the destiny of SCOTUS. See, they have nothing. All they got to do, the Supreme Court thing, that's red meat for their base, you see.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah, they got close to
right,
that
they
Roe v.
want
Wade with
well
but they lost.
stuffing the courts. That's what any Nazi fascist regime does. This is what they do. They stuff the courts. They have to nullify democracy by using the mechanisms of democracy. This is what they're doing, and that's exactly what the Nazis did too. And they make these promises to their mouth-breathing base. Oh, we're going to stuff the courts with unqualified flunkies who will, I guess, not make them say all lives matter or bake a cake or something. You know what's so annoying? I just have to point something out. I'm looking at this ad. You see this ad here? Ad outreach. Schedule your YouTube video ads. Call me. Because I thought, okay, I'll make an ad on YouTube for other progressive shows. Will say, hey, click here, watch Tarabuster, whatever the fuck. So all I did was search, ads on YouTube. Now every effing ad that I see is this guy's face, and it's irritating me. Yes. Schedule your YouTube video ad strategy call with Alaric. Get out of my life, Alaric. It's really irritating. Every goddamn, I'm telling you, I'll go to Huffington Post. I'm sure that it'll be there too, somewhere. Well, maybe not.
What do you think about TikTok?
I don't know. What about it?
Well, it's supposedly an app on your phone that I actually have now.
Right.
And it's from China. And,
yes.
But I haven't signed up fully. I'm only kind of halfway signed in, so I don't add anything. But Pompeo says that go ahead and use it if you want the Chinese to know more information about you, and they can get all kinds of information.
Of course, I don't doubt it. It makes a lot of sense. Oops, wait, I hit the wrong button on the camera. I'm trying to focus the camera. Yeah, I don't doubt that they are monitoring us. Anybody who downloads that TikTok app might actually be already under surveillance by the Chinese. I have no idea. But it makes sense.
What do the Chinese want to do? Why would the Chinese want to monitor, say, me? Why would they want to do that?
They do it to everybody.
Why?
Why wouldn't you want to monitor the people of...
Don't they have a life? I mean,
Don't they have a life? Yeah, but they're an authoritarian communist dictatorship regime, and what are they? The number one, the largest economy. Are we the largest, or did they surpass us? They will surpass us. I mean, they're definitely in competition. They want to rule. Yeah. This is everywhere that the United States is removing itself from. America first, meaning America alone. When we pull back from Earth, from the world stage, the Chinese are going in, and the Russians as well. But this country under fascist right-wing Twitler, the Trumpanzee Trump cult regime, where we have basically conceded defeat to forget about making the world safe for democracy or expanding the democratic franchise around. We used to have that moral high ground at least. We were right. Now we're not. We used to. We're disgusting. I'm disgusted with us. It makes me sick. This is why it's so sad when I think about my grandmother who came here, and my father was the anchor baby. She came here to have my father, so he would be an American citizen, and of course,
anchor baby. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she was Irish, but she was also. She didn't come over with the huddled masses. Let's put it that way. My grandmother had money, and they lost their money in the Great Depression. I could have been rich. So it makes it pisses me off. So, but I think
hear that, man. I just realized my great grandfather was an alcoholic, and he lost everything, and I could have had a house on the beach right now.
Oh boy. Well, that's addiction. It runs in the family. I had addiction all over my family. That's why I'm an addict. I believe it's run in my family.
Sucks.
My grandfather died of alcoholism. He was in the cavalry. He
Yep.
was actually a lot older than my grandmother. And he was
Huh.
so old. I mean, I'm talking about my mom's mom, right? But he was a lot older than her. And
Huh.
I never met him. He died, but he died because he was an alcoholic. He fell downstairs apparently and died.
Oh my God.
But he was part of the cavalry when they chased Pancho Villa across Mexico. That's all I know about him.
Uh-huh.
That's how old he was.
That's interesting.
Yes. But I never knew any of my grandfathers. But they were both alcoholics. And my other grandfather, my father's father, was a drunk who burned their house down, smoking in bed.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God.
And he would also get paid, like one of these drunks who would get paid, even though he had 8 kids at home and a wife, but would end up spending the entire check at the bar before making it home. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's
They didn't have too much help back then.
No. Well, that's the thing too. When we talk about a social safety net, because here in this country, when the house was burned down, my father's house was burned down. When they all lived in the house, my father, everybody, my father was like, he was older. He wasn't like living on his own. He was living at home he was in the service, and my grandfather burned the house down, but that's what he used his GI Bill money to buy my grandmother a home. And
Wow.
and that wasn't available for anybody who wasn't white. But the point is, when the reason I brought it up was because when my father's house burnt down, my grandmother's house, they went to the church for help, because my mother, my grandmother, my entire family were real big Catholics, Irish Catholics, dedicated Irish Catholics that gave their tithes and really were involved with the church. And my grandmother went to them asking for help because they had 8 kids to feed. They had nothing. And in fact, the other thing was, my drunken grandfather had insurance on the home. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Except he didn't pay the premium that month. Okay?
No.
I'm not kidding.
No.
So the house burnt down and they were SOL because he had neglected to pay that month's premium. Can you effing believe that?
They wouldn't let him.
Nope.
They didn't let that slide?
Nope. That's why my grandmother went to the church, and she was like, okay, we'll go to the church and ask for help. And the priest gave her like a salami or something. You know what I mean? Like they gave, it was something so pathetic.
I bet he did.
Yeah. And my grandmother said, like, she never forgot and would never, and that's why they were also big Democrats as well, and understanding that, sometimes you need help. So my family went to live in the Jersey City projects, and that's where they lived for a while. So public housing. And not the church. So when these effing Republicans talk about, that's their mission, that's their vision for the United States. We've seen that vision before. Well, it's if you have problems, you don't go to the government, you go to the church for charity.
Oh.
That's what they want. That's what the church is there for. And we've lived that life before. Well, not us. Well, our ancestors lived it. We're talking about the Dark Ages, where the rich own everything. Yes, that's it. There's no social safety net. If you go serve your Lord, maybe they'll trickle some benefits on you. You're poor. You work. You toil. There's no vacation. There's no there's no days off. If you don't work, you don't get paid. you get as much education as you can afford. If you're rich, you go to school. I mean, this is what they're trying to do. And they say these things out loud sometimes. I mean, that's what Mitt Romney had said. You should get as much education as you can afford. Well, that's the system that we're supposed to be the antidote to. So, yeah, and the reason why we need a strong government funded, meaning we the people, social safety net, is because these systems they ruled Western civilization for thousands of years, and that's why the people had enough. The people were nothing but borrowed mules to the elites.
Yeah.
So who would ride them mercilessly and, oh, well, go die. And, there's no excuse. That's why this show and shows like it, we're bringing, we are carrying the mantle of patriotism. I'm trying to reclaim that mantle. It's about time that we get to see the forest through the trees. More people have to get it. Learn history. Learn the history of Western civilization. Why this country was founded after the liberal age of enlightenment, from the Enlightenment thinkers. What were they writing about? They were talking about an intergenerational aristocracy, the abuses of aristocracy, even though they were many times in the aristocracy themselves. So it's we all have to get educated and also get motivated and get to work. There should be no excuse where we leave anybody behind, because we do have enough money.
Right.
There's enough money in this country. We have enough.
I know.
It's just why do we have why do we need billionaires? We don't. They are actually dangerous to a functioning democratic republic. So they need to be taxed. They can still be rich, but there's no reason why Amazon, the 16 most profitable corporations, don't pay a single penny in taxes. That's a disgusting way that it's certainly not democratic. So I see so we're wrapping up. Poppy, where are you? What do you want to say? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? Where do you want to go?
Well, I'm going to be at the Odeum in East Greenwich on July 25th, and it's right before my class, because I still teach classes, and my class was supposed to perform May 15th, and we had to close the courthouse May 14th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm getting some of those kids from the class to actually do the show with me, so that'll be cool.
Oh, cool. Very good. Well, that's great. Yeah, because you teach a really great comedy class, and your students perform. That's your graduation, and really, that's awesome. So it's good that you're going back to live comedy. That's cool. That's exciting.
I am going to try. And then I met this guy the other day when I was putting in a raised bed, and I met this other guy, and he owns a restaurant, and he's like, "You're the comedian." I said, "Yes, I am." And he's like, "I don't want you. I want you to come do a dinner and a comedy show with me."
Oh, great.
Like, okay.
That's awesome. Great. See, Poppy is
so
good.
That's going to happen, too.
Oh, great. Well, everybody go to poppychamplin.com and check out Poppy's latest, her upcoming gigs, and maybe take her class as well. What do you think of that? Follow her on all these social media. And next week we'll have our so-called 100th show. We have more than, not 100.
Whoa.
No. It's actually been more, because next week is the 200th show, but on Progressive Voices.
Wow.
We also, there are many more shows than 200. I have done more. But only on the weekends, the Saturday shows. But if you want to be on the show, we might, I don't know. Because Haiku, some of our listeners are always like, we heard, and Greg, they were like, oh, we should have a special show. But I don't know. Support the show. Maybe we can get some staff. That's all I can say. You know what'll make it special? Right. Somebody sign up to be a goddamn patron. How's that? All of you, get on there right now. Thank you, Poppy Champlin. Right. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. Poppy Champlin, everyone. That was a great conversation. It's always awesome having Poppy on. I want to thank you all for being a part of the show. Is this too loud? I don't know. Yeah, we stick together, we win, and we will win. I know that's kind of loud. Why can't I lower it? Bum, 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 bum. Ah, that's a little lower. Oh, boy. It doesn't matter. I'm still here. Yeah, I'm kind of in a bad mood. The show is still going. I'm going to hang it up for the night. I'm very crabby. And I don't know. I feel kind of bad. I also was going to apologize to everybody for always being kind of crabby and bringing my problems to the show, but that is what it is. I want to thank you, Els, for your super chat. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Stephen Lee and Jim. If you want to go to patreon.com, become a patron, join us on Discord. You don't have to be a patron. What else? Yeah, if you're on Discord, it will. It's good to stay connected. You can also reach out to me and let me know what your feelings are about different things. And if you'd like to talk about different topics, send them to me there. We do this show together. Become a patron at patreon.com. Go to iTunes and give the show a good review. Share the show with your friends. I would like to see this show actually become a show that I don't have. Maybe I'll get some sleep one day. Wouldn't that be nice? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? You guys are great. Thank you so much for joining me every Saturday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. In the meantime, like I always say, we are on the right side of history. We are on the right side of democracy. And the other thing is, if you become a patron, we haven't had any patrons in a couple of days, but if somebody takes the Patreon challenge and they become a patron, we will have a show on Monday. What do you think of that? Otherwise, I'm not doing a show. That's where I'm going. We have to. I don't know. I got to pull. I got to push. I got to push a little. I don't know. Maybe the show sucks. What do I know? All right. Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe we will fail. I doubt it, though. All right. I better stop because I'm talking nonsense now. Thank you all for hanging out. Become a patron at patreon.com, and we'll do a show on Monday. Otherwise, I'll see you when I see you. My name is Tara Devlin. We stick together. We win. I will see you, hopefully, soon.